Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Got another 5 looks 1 eyeshadow palette video for you, and I'm going to be using the Natasha Denona Retro Glam eyeshadow palette. Love these tones in this palette, so I wanted to give it a couple more tries, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm first going to go in with the shade Sage. I'm going to take that on a blending brush from e.l.f. and I'm going to start working that into my crease. I bought this palette during the last Sephora savings event, and I only used it once for another video where I was testing out the products that I picked up from the sale, and I wanted to use it again because I love the colors in this palette. I love greens, and I love greens and pinks and like peaches and stuff. There's no peachy tones in this palette, but I just love the color schemes. So I wanted to sit down and do these 5 looks with it. Get some good use out of it. Okay, and then I'm going in with the shade Jazzy on a eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. And I'm going to start packing that on this outer corner of my eye. Just tapping that in first to get most of that pigment down. That original green shade, that Sage shade, I think I had too much on my brush. It took me forever to blend that first shade out. I'm going to take that about halfway across my lid. I'm just going to go back in with a fluffy brush and then just start blending around that shade. Okay, and then I'm going in with the shade Lucy on a flat brush from e.l.f. I think this is actually like a concealer type brush, but I like to use it for eyeshadow. And I'm just going to place that on the beginning portion of my lid. Okay, and I'm just going to quickly pop on some false eyelashes and do my other eye off camera. I'll be right back to finish up the lower lash line. And the lashes I'm going to be using are these from LA Colors. These are the Dramatilash Extra Mink Effect lashes in the style Extra Extra. Just going to pop those on right quick. Okay, I don't know if it's just me that I didn't set my lid enough over here, but that shade called Sage, I could not get it to blend properly on this side. I'd place it down, and then when I tried to blend it, it completely rubbed away. So this side looks not so good. This side looks better, so we're just going to look at this eye. I don't know what happened over here. I could not get it to blend. It wouldn't do no way. I don't know. I don't know if it's me or if it's that shade. And it could be me. Maybe I didn't set properly on that side, but I put the powder over the eye, so I always set my lid the same way. I don't know. I just don't like the way that eye turned out. Thank goodness these lashes are really big and they kind of covered a little bit, but I don't know what happened. But let's move on to the lower lash line. But I'm going to try Sage, that shade right there, on the lower lash line, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try it. And I'm going to try to put it on this lower lash line. And it could have been just me, so I'm not going to completely write it off. And I hate it because that shade is so pretty. That color is stunning. But it could have been just me, so. Then I'm going to take this LA Girl. This is the Shockwave Neon Eyeliner in the shade Dragon. I'll let that be a perfect match. I think it matches pretty good. Okay, then I'm going to go over here with the shade Flutter on that same flat brush from e.l.f., this one right here, and apply that to this inner corner. Oh, now that shade is stunning. Okay, and here are the eyes all done. Now remember, ignore this eye. Well, there is the finished first look. Okay, I'm back for look number 2. Now today I just wanted to do a very simple, easy makeup look. I know it might be pretty boring, but I think it's important to show that these palettes can also do a very easy and quick look that's perfect for like work or anything like that as well. And I'm only going to be going in with mascara too. Just going to be a very easy, like 2 shadow look today. So first I'm going to mix the shades Lucy and Faye. And I'm just going to use this fluffy eye blender brush from e.l.f. And I'm just going to run that in the crease and all over the lid as well. This is going to be a very easy look today. And don't get me wrong, I love to do detail eye looks. I really enjoy that, but I love these very simple, easy 1 or 2 eyeshadow looks. I just think that they're perfect for every day. Okay, and then I'm going to take the shade Oscar on my finger and I'm just going to put that all over the lid. Just a very easy look. It might be pretty boring and basic, but I like knowing that I can do looks like this with a palette. So that's why I like to include them. And I do like to include a couple of just mascara looks as well. I'll go back around that with that blending brush. And that's literally the eye look. That's all you have to do. So I'm just going to quickly put on some mascara. I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty mascara, and I'll come back and do the lower lash line. Okay, I'm going back in with the shade Lucy and Faye, and I'm just going to take this eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. and I'm going to run that along my lower lash line. Then on that same brush, I'm going in with the shade Flutter, and I'm going to pop that on the inner corner. And here are the eyes all done. On to look number 3. Okay, we're doing look number 3. I'm going to take a mixture of Holly and Belle, and we'll take that on this small crease brush from e.l.f. Just going to mix the two of those together and then start working that into my crease. I wanted to do a really pretty pinky rosy look with this palette today. I'm just going to take this eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. and I'm going in with the shade Flare. And I'm going to start placing that on my outer and inner corner. Patting that in first before I go back in with blending. That's a really pretty shade. That'd be pretty all over the lid too. I'm going to put something else in the center. Then I'm going to go back in with that crease brush I was working with and just start going around the edges of that shimmer. I have a significant amount of fallout from that shade, so if you use that shade, be careful. You might want to do your eyes first, which is what I always do. I always do my eyes first because of that reason, because I can easily wipe that away. Okay, and then I'm going in with the shade Flutter on my finger, and I'm going to place that right in the center. Oh, look at that shade. How pretty that is. Then I'm just going to blend around that shade as well. Okay, and there's the eye look. I'm just going to do my lashes and the other eye off camera. I'll be right back to do the lower lash line. And the lashes I'm going to be using are the LA Colors Dermatolash Extra, the Mink Effect in Fabulicious. Okay, I'm going to take Holly and Belle and mix them together on that crease brush again. And I'm going to take that and run it on this lower lash line. Then on that same brush, I'm going to take the shade Flutter, and I'm going to pop that on this inner corner. I think the shade Flutter is my most favorite shade in this palette. I really do. Like, if I ever hit pan on one shadow in this palette, it's probably going to be Flutter. And here are the eyes all done. So that is look number 3. Stay tuned for look number 4. Okay, I'm first going to go in with the shade Fringe on this blending brush from e.l.f. and start applying that into the crease. I went in with a very light amount, and then I'm just going to keep building that up. I'm going in with just mascara today. It's going to be a pretty simple look. Okay, next I'm going in with the shade Oz, and I'll take that on an eyeshadow C brush from e.l.f. And then I'm just going to pack that on this outer half of my lid. Just kind of pressing that down first before I go in and blend around it. Gosh, that is such a pretty shade. That'd be pretty all over the lid too, but I want to go in with one more lighter shade in the inner portion of my lid. And then I'm going back in with that first blending brush that I had. I'm going to go around that Oz shade. Just make sure that's blended out. No harsh edges. There's those two shades blend in really nicely together because they're kind of similar. Okay, and next I'm going in with the shade Palladian. I believe that's how you say it. And I'm just going to use that same brush that I just used for Oz, but I just wiped off that shade. And I'll start placing that on this inner portion of my lid. You could also went in with your finger with that shade as well, but I just find that the brush picks up that shade nicely too. And again, going back in with that blending brush and going around that shade as well. Okay, and that's literally all I'm going to be doing, so I'm going to quickly do my other eye off camera and I'll come back to finish up the lower lash line. Now I'm just going in with mascara, and the one I'm using today, this is the Milani Highly Rated Lash Extensions Tubing Mascara. I'm just going to be going in with this one, so I'm going to do all that and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going back in with that Oz shade on that same eyeshadow C brush from e.l.f. And I'm going to run that on my lower lash line. Okay, and then I'm going in with the shade Flutter on that same brush. I'm going to pop that on the inner corner, as always. And here are the eyes all done. Stay tuned for the fifth and final look. Okay, I'm going to start mixing the shades Lucy and Faye, and I'm going to use this fluffy eye blender brush from e.l.f. I'm just going to mix those two and then start working that kind of like more so in this outer portion of my lid and then also in the crease. And then I'm just going to keep building those two shades up until I get about where I want them to be. Okay, I don't know how this is going to look, but we're just going to wing it. I'm going to take the shade Holly on this eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but it's okay. We're just trying something new, and I'm going to place that on this beginning portion of my lid. Keep kind of picking more up and patting it in so it shows up more of that pink color. The shade does better if you pat it in. And I'm going to go back with that brush where I use the shades Lucy and Faye. I'm going to kind of go back over here on this outer portion of my lid to make sure that pink didn't take away from this more gray color. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with the shade Jazzy on this angled brush from e.l.f. And I am going to spray my brush with setting spray. And then I'm going to attempt a wing here. And I'm only taking that about halfway across my lid. Now I'm just going to do my other eye off camera as well as like my lashes and stuff, and I'm going to be using, this is the Ioni 3D Foam Ink Lashes. This is from their Zodiac collection. This was the Gemini ones, but they're the wispy spiky, which you can get like all the time. I don't believe the style is limited edition, just the packaging. Okay, I'm going to go in with the shade Maxi on this eyeliner brush from e.l.f. I'm trying to use all the shades in this palette, and that was the last shade that I believe I haven't used yet. I'm going to take that and run that on this outer portion of my lower lash line. It kind of looks like the Jazzy shade a little bit, like they're kind of like the same shade roughly. There's a slight difference, but it's not that noticeable when they're on your eye. Then using that same brush, I'm going in with the shade Oscar, and I'm going to put that on the inner portion of my lower lash line, meeting up with that Maxi shade in the middle. Then of course I'm going in with the shade Flutter, using that same brush. I'm going to place that on this inner corner. Okay, and here are the eyes all done. Okay, and that is the fifth and final look. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!